our reporter, Linda Mnisi, who's there for us. Linda, good evening to you, and really heartfelt tributes, just showing what kind of person Bob Mabena was.
Indeed, Stephen, moving tributes that we've heard this afternoon here at the Powerhouse in Houghton. Really, family and close friends gathered here today to bid their farewells to Bob Mabena and remember the great man that he was, the jammer as he was affectionately known, lived a full life. We've heard from the likes of his friends, we've heard from the MSG Africa chairman, Given Mkari, speaking about his last moments. In fact, he touched on something very profound, saying that his last moment was actually with his wife because they loved going out to date, and that in those last moments he, was consistent and made sure that even when he wasn't feeling well, he went out and they got into that car and they were driving. It was then where he felt, pain, and that's when he was taken to hospital. We've also heard from the family doctor saying that he was actually quite happy on Sunday to be going back home on Monday, but of course he got that call that actually things have turned for the worst, and everybody was basically shocked that he, has now died. Stephen?
Also, just showing you the impact that Bob Mabena has had, such a long radio career from 1989 onwards, a trailblazer in many ways, and also, as people there have been saying, someone who really forged his own path.
Indeed, Stephen. In fact, just before I walked out, Thabiso Tema, the MC there, was speaking about how Bob occupied every space that he was hired in and was never moved. And that shows you that he was really great at what he did. He says that in every single radio station and TV platform that he was in, he was never moved. When he felt like he had reached his peak, he often went out. In fact, Stephen, we were here just a couple of days ago speaking to the young talent that occupies and broadcasts here at the Powerhouse, and many of them were speaking about how much of an impact he's had on their careers. His co-host, Faith Mangope, in fact says that, well, it was, an experience working with the jammer. He taught me everything because he understood radio to the T. He understood the technicalities and everything that went into radio. In fact, a conversation, Stephen, that they were having off air, she said that he would often say, Faith, you blab a lot. If you try to just limit a bit and make sure that everything is well coordinated. She says she'll always appreciate him for all the constructive criticism that he often came with, and making sure that everyone in his team felt just as important as he was.
Well, the ceremony there continuing, and really people very, very upset. It shows you how much of an impact he had on people.
Indeed, Stephen, we heard how much of a great man he was really to his listeners. If you listen to the radio station throughout the week, a lot of people describing him as though they knew him personally. A lot of the tributes that we heard were that, he was such a relatable man. People saying that every day, religiously, we used to listen to the show, and we felt so, we were heartbroken to hear that he had sadly passed, because we didn't anticipate that it would come so early. In fact, Thabiso Tema, they're saying, a lot of people were quite shocked that he was actually 51 years old, because it felt like Bob Mabena was with them all their lives. He's been on radio and television for the longest of time. You mentioned there that his career spanned over 30 years. Now, those are 3 decades, Stephen. I was not even born at the time when Bob was on radio.